I got a nice little subject today. It's called Is Money Your Master? Just sit with that. Sit with that for a minute. I'm going to talk about it for a little bit today. Maybe 15 minutes or so, maybe 20, maybe 25. I don't know. Maybe 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Depends. Depends how far I go. Usually I start these videos and I think I need to make up all this stuff. And the next thing I know, I've been talking for 25 minutes. So sometimes it takes a little bit to get going. But this is a subject that I think will forever be on my mind. Personally, I think it's a healthy subject to have on your mind as you live your life, as you make individual decisions, and as you just check yourself and regulate yourself as a person. I believe in God, and in the Bible it says you cannot worship two masters. You cannot worship God and you cannot worship money. Um, Technically speaking, it doesn't say worship money. It uses this term called mammon, which is a reference to economical type things. It could really actually represent a spirit of money or a godly sense of money and wealth. It really just means, for practical purposes, that you worship money in the sense that that's what you care about the most. That is what you prioritize the most. So, first question, do you agree with the idea that you cannot worship two masters? I happen to agree that. And if I looked back on my life, for the most part, I would say, particularly in my adult years, money was my master. Not that it controlled every single thing I do, but if I had to rank in priority of what I spent the most time focused on, it was money and things related to money, possessions, material things, whether those are physical things or experiences, the ability for me to go get money so I could have the things that I want. That drove me. Still does drive me. Still does drive me a lot. It's actually not bad, the sense that you can be motivated by money, but it has to be taken a step further, I believe, into what is your intention with that money. But I'm going to start out today with just this question, because I think it is good to ask yourself this question: is money your master? At the top of your list, is the primary driver of the things you do based on money, even if they're for good things, to provide for your family? Are you chasing after money? Think about what the feelings are around money that you get when you think about money. When I think about money, sometimes, and I think about some feelings that might come around it, I can think about things like desire. I can use the word fear, stress, fun. There can be good things. These can be good. These can be bad things, depending on how you look at them, related to money. Capacity is another word that I think about. Money gives me the capacity or the ability to do certain things. Good, bad. What am I going to choose to do with these things that I can get with money? So I want to go back to this idea of like you can only serve two masters, God or money. And again, I'm using money. It's more so the worshiping of money. One versus two. These are just two options. Not that there couldn't be something else in here that you could be worshiping or putting above. But I'm reading this book right now called Beyond Blessed by Robert Morris, and he talks through these two different ideas. Number one, this concept of when you talk about this biblically, when people try to interpret, well, is money good or is money bad? Because if you go into the Bible, there's a lot of talk about money. There's all kinds of subjects that I would like to bring up. But the particular subject that I was reading through recently had to do with the idea of poverty versus prosperity. So the idea that, okay, if I choose God versus money, then I have to go prove that, right? And how do I prove that? Well, this is where this whole idea of poverty comes into play. It's like chosen poverty. Like I'm gonna purposely abstain from material things. I'm gonna abstain from actually making money because all material things are bad. So he talks about that subject a little bit. So think about that. I mean, does that make sense to you? Material things are bad. The other idea was kind of the opposite, that and these are actually framed in the because I love God or because I worship God, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to worship him by living in poverty and saying I need nothing. All I need is God, and he will take care of me. I'm just going to pray all day. And this next one is prosperity, where he just talks about, well, God will provide the most to the ones he loves the most. The agenda there is a little bit off, because it's like, if I do, I will receive. If I do, I will receive. Slightly off base, because it's still the idea of I'm thinking about the dollar signs first, because I want to I want to receive. So Robert Morris goes a little bit differently. He takes it into this new area called provision. He calls it provision. I like the word, but it deserves to be unpacked a little bit. So I encourage you to read that book. I think it's a really good book. Um, but basically, this has to do with the word stewardship. And the idea, if you take care of what is given to you, you will be provided with more. So think about that. If you take care of what's been given to you, you will be provided more. What is that? What does that mean to you? So I've had personal experiences with this, gone down two different ways. I've had this whole is money your master thing, and if I said yes, money is my master, I lived this life for a while, for a long time. My career, starting out 20 some years old, financial expert. These are the talents and skills that God gave me to be a financial expert, a financial wizard. I literally was like this. Okay, I'm 21 years old. I put this spreadsheet together, 22, 23, 55.
I was going to start with this much money and I was going to have this. Like
I had those goals from the get go. Everything I was doing, my thought process was driven by money. I literally had this plan of whenever I was 55 years old, this is how much I needed per month. And this was the things I wanted in my lifestyle. House was going to be paid for, car was going to be paid for, country club membership. You add it. This is the number I needed to get to. All about me. It all centered around me, what I wanted, what I wanted, what I wanted. I think a lot of people go down that route, whether they put a financial plan together like I did or not. Hey, good for you. Plenty of people are successful doing that. For me, this didn't work out. This crashed for me. Even though I seemingly was doing everything right, I got to this place of, let's just call it losing it all. Don't want to over dramatize it. Um, but I went down to a serious pit. And I had to get woke up. Woke up. And I got introduced to this concept of God versus money. Changed a lot of things in my life to focus here. Had to do a lot of soul searching, a lot of conversations, a lot of understanding what this really meant. I dove super deep into this. So if this is a new subject for you, I don't expect you to get it. I don't expect you to even care. But maybe you know somebody who does, or maybe some point in your life you go through something, hopefully not as bad as what I went through. And you're open to this idea that maybe how I'm looking at money and how I live my life when it relates to money is a little bit unhealthy. Even if you don't have a relationship with God or don't believe in Him, maybe you could still admit to yourself, maybe money's not quite doing it for you. One way to ask yourself that is, what are your feelings about money? Do you live paycheck to paycheck, even if you're doing well? This was my experience. I remember my first job. Because I'm a numbers person, I was making this much per year. My very first job. I had a goal to get to $100,000 per year. It was on my spreadsheet. Everything was based on a certain growth rate of my income. So I had a goal to get here by a certain year. And I did it. That was great. I accomplished it. I was still living paycheck to paycheck. How freaking crazy is that? That I was still living paycheck to paycheck, making almost 3 times as much money. Yeah, it was a couple years later. It wasn't because of inflation. It was because I did all this me stuff and filling it all up. It was like money's burning a hole in my pocket. I better get rid of it. I better go buy some stuff. I better go set some more goals that are bigger about things that I want, Well, like I said, that didn't work out for me. So what I've decided to do is change this mindset and go, God first. And I'm not even going to say then money, but God, what do you have to say about my money? What does that mean for me? That means literally having conversations in prayer, in Bible reading, in meditation, and thinking about that. Looking at my life, looking at what I do, looking at how I treat money, how I act towards money, how I give money. So I'm going to end today with a quick way to check yourself on if money is your master or if God's your master. It's very simple. Give away money today. I would challenge you to give away money today and actually do it right now. When I say you need to give away some money, how does that make you feel? Literally, like, does that make you smile? Does that make you like get pissed off? Does that give you anxiety? Does that make you think, I don't even have anything to give? What could I possibly give? Who would I give to? Why would I give? Oh, this money's mine. I'm not giving it away to anybody. I earned it myself. What is your mind? Where does your mind start to go when I say you should give away some money? This will show you how attached you are to your money. Therefore, will show you if money is a master to you, more so than God. For me, this is a discipline and it is a practice to give away money consistently and to give it away intentionally. I'm constantly working on my heart and my mindset because I know through experience that even though I've now changed my mindset, that I'm always going to be pulled back to going after money because our world revolves around money. If you believe in God and you're going to heaven, you're not really worried about money in heaven, are you? But you're living here on earth right now, and our world revolves around money. You need it. You absolutely need it. I encourage you to try to make more, to grow what you have, to protect what you have, to invest what you have, to give away what you have to good causes. Very, very, very intentionally. And I believe that when you do that, you will get more. And the more you continue to steward it well, the more that you will get. But start here. When I say give something away, how does it make you feel?